Malaysia, and Japan. The Philippine Navy said presidential yacht VRP ang Pangulo is now ready for use for the coronavirus disease or COVID-19 patients. PN Public Affairs Office Chief Lieutenant Commander Maria Cristina Rojas said in a statement that the ship has successfully undergone necessary works needed for its conversion as a floating quarantine facility. She also said the remodeling of the ship began within 48 hours following President Duterte's pronouncement to utilize the ship for patients. Officers and enlisted personnel aboard ACS-25 spearheaded the transformation of the VIP compartments of the ship into COVID-19 dedicated medical ward and patient rooms, and that can now accommodate a total of 28 patients with 5 medical personnel. The President ordered the conversion of the BRP ang Pangulo into a medical facility last April 3. 3 exclusive compartments were prepared by the Philippine Navy personnel for the patients with temporary division in place, observing a 3-meter distance between them. Patients and medical staff are given different access points. The crew will remain on board while the ship is being utilized as a quarantine facility. They were already provided with personal protection equipment or PPEs, sets, and while the rapid antibody tests were conducted. First, let's go to the U.S., where the IRS said over the weekend that it has started sending coronavirus stimulus payment to eligible Americans. And what does that mean? We have that update plus more from our EBC correspondent in the Silicon Valley Bureau. Here's Don Orozco. Don?
Hello to everyone and to all our friends in the Southeast Asian region. I am so glad and so happy that there's a rise in what you call in our followers, subscribers. I've been checking online, and it's good to know. But going to my report, this stimulus package. So starting tomorrow, you know how it is. It is 11 p.m. today, Sunday night here in the U.S. But starting tomorrow morning, those who filed their 2019 and then 2018 income tax return are the very first one who will actually get the stimulus checks coming from CARES, which is the Coronavirus Aid Relief and the Economic Security Package. This is from the 2.2 trillion that was approved a week ago by the U.S. Congress, Alma. And just switching back again, just to highlight that the package, the first beneficiary which will come in next week are those who paid, who filed their income tax for 2019 and 2018. Now going back to the coronavirus COVID-19. Currently, let me just give you some details that was presented to us by Johns Hopkins University. Right now, there are about in the U.S. there are about 530,830 cases. It is the biggest in terms of per country. New York is also the biggest number of cases, which has 181,000. And then out of in the US, there are about 2,288,000 that was been tested, and 32,000, that's the good news, 32,000 have already recovered from the virus. And because of the coronavirus, just to give you an idea, 10 million of our U.S. residents of the workforce have now lost their jobs, and then 10% of the 10 million, which is 1 million, are from California, from our state. And then, just to give you an idea, 6.6 million of those just came from 2 weeks ago. It is because of the lockdown that has been issued in most of the states here in the United States.
Okay, what about unemployment benefits? Just a fast one because we have a press briefing coming in.
Yeah. In terms of the unemployment benefits, Alma,
Yes.
If you got displaced or got fired from your work due to coronavirus, the government will, other than the 1,200 stimulus package per person, other than that, the unemployment will actually give you $600 per week for the next 4 months. So if you end up without any job at all, they will give you $600 a week, which is $2,400 a month for the next 4 months without doing anything.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That's how it is for the workforce that were actually laid off. And then, just to give you some summary, Alma, before I go, comparing, I'm just trying to get to the notes, comparing what was being received by the other workforce from other countries. We learned that UK got 80% of the workers' salaries, Denmark has 75%, South Korea is 70%, Netherlands is the highest at 90%,
Wow.
And then for Canada, it's $2K a month, which is $2,000 Canadian dollars. And in Australia, it's about $1,000 per month. Again, in the US, it's just a one-time $1,200 for us.
All right.
And that's the latest right now here in the US. So reporting live here in Silicon Valley, this is Don Orozco, and we live in interesting times.
All right. For now, let's interrupt our regular programming. We'll just listen to this press briefing from Malacanang. Let's listen in.
Pag sinertipika na yon ay maaari na silang maging kasama sa listahan ng mga target beneficiary.
Sir, another question from, paano ito matatanggap ng tao itong SAP? Cash po ba? At paano kung nawala ang ATM card o nakasangla?
Actually, yung para sa mga 4Ps, natatanggap nila through their cash cards. No? So wala tayong problema doon. Ito po ay cash. Hindi po ito halo ng food and non-food items plus cash. So nakasad po sa ating batas na matatanggap po nila ay full cash. No, ang tanong mo kanina, paano kung nawala ang ATM card o nakasangla? Ang dapat lang po nilang gawin ay impormahan ang ating mga DSWD. No? Unang-una siguro, impormahan nila yung kanilang municipal, city, social welfare development office na nawala ang kanilang ATM at nagko-coordinate naman po ang local social welfare development officers sa ating regional DSWD field offices. Marami na po mga instance na nagkaganitong pangyayari, pero pagka na-validate naman po na talagang nawala at sila yung tao yun nakalagay sa cash card, eh pinapalitan naman po yun, tinutulungan po ng DSWD regional field office na mapalitan yun. Pero magkakaroon lang po ng sinasabi nating delay dahil na rin sa proseso ng pagbigay ng cash card sa mga ng land bank.
Sir, isa pang question po. Paano po kung walang formal o permanent address yung beneficiary?
Yeah, siguro i-cite natin yung example na yung mga street dwellers. Pagka ganito mga sitwasyon, ang una po dapat makaalam niyan ay yung mga sinasabi natin mga LGU dahil sila yung nakakaalam ng kanilang mga nasasakupan. At pag sinertify naman po to ng LGU, ay sigurado naman na since talagang walang-wala sila, poorest of the poor, baka sila ang iprioridad ng kanilang LGU.
Sir, papaano naman daw po sir kung malayo yung lokasyon ng mga tao?
Usually, ang nagiging proseso dyan, ang ating LGU ay merong master list. No? So, binibigyan namin ng leeway ang mga LGU kung paano nila ipapamahagi yung ayuda. Kasi, unang-una, meron din silang proseso kung paano nila ipaprioridad yung pagbibigay ng ayuda. Katulad sa mga ibang region, ang ginawa nila ay inuna muna nila yung mga nasa kabundukan, yung mga island barangays, at saka sa mga IP area. Siyempre, gusto man natin na mapabilis yung pagbibigay ng ayuda, kaya lang, siyempre, kailangan makipag-coordinate tayo sa LGU. Sabi nga natin, meron din sila mga ina-assess na mga sitwasyon, pwedeng security situation, maaring accessibility sa mga gamit na transportasyon, lalo na kung kailangan tumawid sa island municipalities. Pero ganun pa man, magkakaroon ng delay, pero sa pag-uusap naman yan at pag-uugnayan ng mga different agencies, lalo-lalo na sa tulong ng AFP and PNP na merong, and even Coast Guard, na ipag-coordinate kami sa Coast Guard para magkaroon na available na assets para sa dagat man o hopefully by air ay maipaabot natin yung ayuda ng mga target beneficiary.
Sir, bakit daw po sa bakit LGU ang nagbibigay ng social amelioration program? At ano raw po yung reaksyon ninyo na hindi raw po lahat na bibigyan, may limited number lang?
Unang-una, nakasad po sa local government code na ang LGU po ang nagpro-provide ng basic social welfare services sa kanilang constituents. Ang ibig pong sabihin noon ay sila ang nakakaalam at na-identify nila kung sino ba ang low-income sector, kung sino yung nasa formal sector. At dahil naman itong 18 million na low-income families ay mabibigyan nila ng prioridad based sa profile ng mga kanilang mga nasasakupan. As emphasized by RA 11469, the Emergency Subsidy Program or SAP, again, emphasize natin, shall be given to low-income families assessed to be most affected given by their existing life situation or circumstances. So ayun po talaga yung malaking role ng ating LGU at sa pag-identify kung sino po ang mabibigyan ng prioridad. Ngayon, yung balik tayo sa tanong, pinipili ng LGU kung sino bibigyan. Babalik po tayo dito sa local government code na sila ang nakakaalam ng kanilang benepisaryo. Kaya siguro, sa tingin nila, mas nangangailangan itong pamilya na to, kaya inuuna nila bigyan ng social amelioration card.
Okay. Sir, may patanong from Francis Wakefield of Daily Tribune. Paano raw po yung mga nananamantala? May umiikot daw from DSWD para sa SAP. Pinatawag raw sila ng purok leader. Ang kaso may ibang residente sa QC na pasok sa SAP kahit government employee na. Saan pwedeng magreklamo? May namimili ata ng pagbibigyan ng SAP.
Actually, unang-una, nakalagay sa aming guideline na maaring managot ang LGU kapag merong mga complaint na hindi naaayon doon sa sinasabi ng batas. Meron kaming grievance redress system, ito isang mekanismo para ang ating mga kababayan na sa tingin nila nakita sila ng anomalya o irregularidad sa pagbibigay ng SAP ay maaari na nilang idulog to sa aming grievance redress system. No? Nakaset up ito sa DSWD, meron kaming operation center doon, open to 24/7. At pagka na-substantiate yung kanilang complaint, nag-usap na po kami ni Secretary Anyo na right there and then, pagka guilty, ang sa aking pananaw, personal na opinion, nung nag-uusap kami dito, ang sabi niya ay basta masubstantiate ang ebidensya, ay isususpend niya kagad kung sino yung opisyal ng LGU na yun. Kasi importante yun, para makita ng tao na talagang ang makakatanggap ng social amenities program ay yung mga nararapat. Dapat nga masampulan natin yung mga LGU dahil para hindi gayahin ng mga iba. Kasi pagkahahayaan lang natin yan, ang mangyayari, si barangay captain, bakit nakalusot? Okay naman pala, di kailangan dumiskarte na rin ako. So siguro ayun na rin ang dapat iwasan natin, na hayaan yung mga ganitong anomalya o irregularidad. Kaya nga palaging panawagan ko sa ating mga kababayan na sana mag-ingay kayo, sumigaw kayo kapag meron kayong mga nakita na very obvious, sabihin natin talagang sumusuway o nagbaboyulate sa provision ng ating batas tungkol sa Social Amelioration Program.
Okay, sir. Yun lang po ang mga katanungan. Meron po ba kayong closing message bago pa tayo magtapos?
Maraming salamat sa ating mga taga-panood at taga-pakinig. Bago ko tuluyang wakasan ang pagpapaabot ng napakahalagang mensahe tungkol sa mga nagawa, kasalukuyang ginagawa at gagawin pa sa mga sumusunod na araw ng DSWD at sa isang malayang paglalahad ng kalinawan sa mga katanungang nakabimbing sa isipan ng mga mamayan, bilang tugon sa kautusan ng ating Pangulo sa pamumuno ng inyong abang lingkod at sa ngalan ng kagawaran, nais kong pasalamatan ang mga sumusunod na maituturing natin ang bagong bayani sa ating kasalukuyang panahon. Ang ating mga health workers na hindi inalintana na lumapit at tugunan ang mga pangangailangan ng mga taong nagpositibo sa COVID-19. Nakakalungkot man isipin na may mga pumanaw sa kanila at ang iba naman ay nagpapagaling sanhi ng pagkahawa. Ngunit ang kanilang mga kasamahan ay patuloy pa rin na naglilingkod ng may ngiti sa labi na siyang nakapagbigay ng pag-asa sa mga taong dinadapuan ng nasabing virus o karamdaman. Ang hukbong katihan, ang hukbong sandatahan ng Pilipinas at ang hukbo ng kapulisan na patuloy na umaalalay upang mapanatiling mapayapa ang ating bansa at maisakatuparan ang malawakang pagpatupad ng enhanced community quarantine. Ang mga pribadong sektor tulad ng mga bangko, gasolinahan, mga pamilihang bayan.
All right, that was the press briefing from the Department of Social Welfare and Service. Meanwhile, Bangkok Metropolitan Administration has intensified its sanitation measures across transport systems, and there are free treatment for all virus patients. This and more from our EBC correspondent in Thailand, Faye Barte. Faye?
Good afternoon, Alma, and good afternoon to all the viewers.
Good afternoon, Faye.
Yes, the updates here in Thailand, Alma. The first one is about the mass transit. Police Lieutenant General Sopon Pisutiwong, the Deputy Governor of Bangkok, has disclosed that the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or the BMA, has intensified sanitation of the city's mass transit systems in light of the novel coronavirus pandemic. So here, Alma, they are going to have to apply the thermal scan, the social distancing, the physical distancing. I mean, the social distancing or the physical distancing. They encourage the citizens to use the smart card to pay for fare. Here in Thailand, Alma, they use the smart card. They are going to top up that using the mobile banking, and then they are going to use that to pay for the fare. And another update, Alma, is they are going to provide free treatment to all people here, including the expats who contribute to the Social Security Fund. According to the Public Health Ministry, all hospitals, public and private, must do their best to treat COVID-19 patients without delay until they are out of immediate danger or transferred to other hospitals based on their coverage. And here, Alma, the National Health Security Office will be in charge to all the patient's bill. And if the patient doesn't want to be treated in the hospital, that would be okay. And the medical bills will be, the patients will have to pay the medical bills or the hospital bills if he doesn't want to be treated in the hospital. And another thing there, as a positive one also, the germ saver robot is developed jointly by the National Security and will use Technology Center under the National Science and Technology Development Agency and the Institute of Biotechnology and Genetic Engineering of Chulalongkorn University. They believe that the powerful UV light will kill germs in the air and an object surfaces and is navigated via a remote control. The sterilization will take 15 to 30 minutes, and trial operation will be planned at King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital in Bangkok, and then after the trial, Alma, they are going to put into operation at other agencies. In regard with this, there is a vending machine that distributes face masks made by the prisoners in Thailand at Bangkok airport train stations. The price is at 25 Thai baht and are set to be available at the SkyTrain stations and airport link stations. Another update, Alma, because today, April 13 until April 15, that is the usual celebration for the Songkran Festival. So the government released a guidance on how to conduct ourselves during the Songkran Festival in 2020. They produced this guidance to reduce the spread of coronavirus. The first one is a ban on a water celebration. Alma, this Songkran festival is what they also call water festival. So if this happened, if this celebration, the people usually go out and they splash some waters to other people. They buy water gun to splash water because that is a usual celebration for them. So they have to ban on a water celebration. The second one is not returning to hometowns because it's a typical practice to everybody that they are going to spend the Songkran festival with their relatives and go to the temples and take a rest. Another, not pouring water, pay respect to the elderly. Number 4 is suspending all religious activities at temples. Many people, Alma, they usually go to the temples. They pray. They give respect to the monks and to other and another things that they are doing. They usually do that in Songkran festival starting April 13 up to April 15. And the last one is they are being encouraged, the people here are being encouraged to just do a video call with their family members. And for them, it would be a good practice to prevent the spread or to reduce the spread of coronavirus. Another update that I can say, Alma, is the Prime Minister or the Director of Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration, or the CCSA, has informed the public about some recorded developments. He mentioned about developments under medical and public health issues, protecting and assisting the public, including national security issues, the control of consumer items, economic assistance, and about foreign affairs. So in this ALMA, for the medical and public health issues, he addressed that sufficient or adequate face masks for medical staff, for the general public is sufficient or adequate. Like for the N95, he mentioned that there would be a 200,000 N95 for all the medical personnel. They are been preparing for a quota of 1.5 million masks per day for doctors and nurses. And another thing there is favipiravir drug. So they use that from People's Republic of China and Japan. 5 shipments have been already done here, totaling 187,000 pills, with an additional 200,000 in the process of being acquired. And they are also, they prepared also 80 more ICU beds and more state quarantine facilities here in Bangkok. It will be catered to 20,000 people, Alma. And to other things, 6,500 people are already arrested because of violating the curfew. And the curfew is at 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. They have been arrested. And however, because of this situation, CCSA will not increase the national curfew time. So they will not give any changes for this. For the economic assistance, they already implemented the phase 1 and phase 2. And the government has approved several assistance packages as well. For the foreign affairs, the ban of incoming flight here in Thailand is until April 18. So in general, Alma, the Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha also addressed that he wanted to end this pandemic problem, so everybody would do the normal things that they do before. And the Prayut Chan-o-cha also encouraged the other people that water blessing ritual would be done at home. Alma?
Very much for that update, Faye. And keep the updates coming. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alma. And this is Faye Barte, reporting live from Bangkok, Thailand Bureau, and we live in interesting times.
Thank you, Faye. It's now a possibility that ASEAN events and the other highly anticipated summits could be held online due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We have more update from our EBC correspondent in Hanoi, Charlene Navaja. Charlene.
Hi, Alma. Good afternoon. Good
How are
afternoon to all the viewers. So the update in Vietnam is focused more on the ASEAN summit. So the Deputy Foreign Minister Nguyen Quoc Dung said there's a possibility ASEAN events and highly anticipated summits could be held online due to the COVID-19 pandemic. With Vietnam in the role of ASEAN chairman in 2020, Dung told the press briefing in Hanoi, on Thursday they are not ruling out the possibility of hosting events in teleconference format. And he also informed the press of the postponement of the 36th ASEAN Summit and ASEAN New Zealand Leaders Summits from April 8, that is, to 9 to the end of June in the central city of Da Nang. The diplomat announced that the ASEAN Summit and ASEAN Plus 3, so that's the Republic of People's Republic of China, South Korea, and Japan on COVID-19 response will be held on April 14. That's going to be tomorrow, Alma, with the Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc chairing over the events as ASEAN Chair 2020. Vietnam, as ASEAN 2020 Chair, has been proactively promoting joint efforts of the 10-member group in the fight against COVID with a spirit of being cohesive and responsive, Dung said. He also added after consulting ASEAN leaders, Prime Minister Phuc issued the ASEAN chairman statement on February 14, affirming the alliance's strong determination and political commitment to control and prevent the pandemic. The ASEAN Coordinating Council, composed of ASEAN foreign ministers, held two sessions on March 20 and April 9 under the chair of Vietnam's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Pham Binh Minh to discuss measures for stronger collaboration with the bloc and its partners. The ASEAN defense ministers, economic ministers, and ministers in charge of tourism have issued statements and agreed on measures to curb the spread of the novel coronavirus SARS-CoV-2. As ASEAN 2020 chair, Vietnam pushed the establishment and organization of the teleconference of the ASEAN Coordinating Council Working Group on Public Health Emergencies on March 31st to take steps to implement intra-block coordination against COVID-19 in the future. So, specific recommendations included containing the spread of the pandemic, supporting affected people in the ASEAN countries, including those who are living, working, and studying in each other's member states in the third countries, and mitigating the disease's impact on socio-economic development. The ASEAN countries also pledged to strengthen the solidarity and mutual assistance to share efforts and enhance resilience to cope with the pandemic. At the meeting of the ASEAN Coordinating Council, ministers agreed to hold the ASEAN Special Summit and the ASEAN +3 Special Summit on COVID-19 response online. So that's tomorrow. The events will be presided over by the Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc, who is the chair of the ASEAN and chair of ASEAN +3. The country's leaders are expected to adopt a joint statement of ASEAN Special Summit and another of the ASEAN +3 Special Summit on COVID-19 response, reaffirming their strong commitment and determination in preventing and eliminating the risk of the pandemic that threaten people's lives and socio-economic stabilization of the member states. In response to the reporters' queries about evaluating the cooperation of the U.S. and China with ASEAN in the COVID-19 fight, Deputy Foreign Minister Dung, who is head of the ASEAN Senior Officials Meeting in Vietnam, said Vietnam supports the two powers in promoting their role in the world, adding that the country has also cooperated in two countries since the beginning of the outbreak. Within the framework of ASEAN, China was the first country, then the US and the European Union to have first meetings with the bloc in this joint effort. This is the hope and endeavor of the ASEAN countries to strengthen partnerships with these countries. So he said, we have received very strong commitments from China and the US in supporting and uniting with ASEAN in fighting the pandemic. So just a quick update also, Alma, of the COVID cases here in Vietnam. So just this morning, there were 2 people living in Haloi village, Hanoi's Mailing district, have tested positive for COVID-19. So, taking the national count to 262 today. There are now 10 people with coronavirus all over the same village, and one of the new cases is a 60-year-old woman who owns a grocery store in Ha Market, and the other is a 26-year-old woman who works for a Samsung company. And it was reported that she contracted the virus from her uncle, patient number 254. So both women are being treated at the National Hospital for Tropical Disease number 2 in Hanoi's Dong Anh district. So after a number of cases were discovered in the same village, more than 11,000 residents have been locked down inside the community. More than 6,800 of them have tested the SARS-CoV-2 and are waiting for the results. The city's health department on Sunday mobilized 15 quick response teams to the village to assist local authorities. And among the 262 cases in Vietnam now, 144 have been recovered. And of 118 active cases being treated at 14 healthcare facilities nationwide, 22 people tested negative for once, and 16 patients were tested negative twice.
Okay.
Alma?
All right. Thank you very much for that update. I think we have all the information we need now. Thank you so much. But the ASEAN summit will be postponed till end June due to, of course, obviously worries about the coronavirus. Do they have plans of doing this online as well?
We don't have a word on that yet, Alma, but ASEAN leaders will convene a virtual summit this week to propose various initiatives as the bloc seeks collective and coordinated action against the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's probably going to be tomorrow, as mentioned earlier.
Yes.
And the summit is expected to be followed by an ASEAN +3 summit, an important forum for collaboration with the major development partners, again, the China, Japan, and South Korea, since these three have shown varying degrees of success in curbing the outbreak. So as the current ASEAN chair, Vietnam has proposed to set up a regional medical and essential goods reserves in case of an emergency. So building a common health response based on guidance from the World Health Organization and organizing online drills at the ASEAN Center of Military Medicine on responding to epidemics. So the bloc is also working to establish a COVID-19 ASEAN Response Fund that would be drawn in part from the existing ASEAN developmental fund.
All right. Thank you very much, Charlene. And keep the updates coming. Stay healthy. Keep yourself safe as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Alma. Likewise. So this has been Charlene bringing you live updates from Hanoi, Vietnam. We live in interesting times.
ASEAN in Focus will be right back.
Alamin ang mga dapat at hindi dapat gawin ngayong panahon ng enhanced community quarantine dahil sa banta ng COVID-19. Ano-ano nga ba ang patakaran sa pagbabiyahe, papasok at paglabas ng bansa? Ang mga Pilipino at kanilang mga pamilya ay papayagang bumalik mula sa ibang bansa. Gayon din ang lahat ng mga permanenteng residente ng Pilipinas. Pati na ang mga diplomat at miyembro ng mga international organization. Lahat sila ay sasailalim sa mandatory quarantine alinsunod sa nakatakdang panuntunan. Maaari ring lumabas ng bansa ang mga OFW, balikbayan at mga banyaga. Hindi naman papayagan ang paghahatid at pagsusundo ng grupo sa mga pasahero. Gayon din ang anumang biyaheng pangturista, papasok at palabas ng bansa. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to.
This program is co-presented by Kubert Industries Incorporated, Electromechanical Trading and Services, The Cooling Expert, Vita Herbs Philippines Green Coffee, Masarap, Mabango at Healthy Pa. Cadred Corporation, your ventilation and air conditioning specialist. In participation with Rain or Shine Elastomeric Waterproofing Paint, color for protection for your home. Matimco. Matimco is wood. Wood is Matimco. Our Square Variables Incorporated, your trusted UPS supplier and UPS maintenance provider in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. CompuZell Computer Services, ID card and lanyard manufacturer. DN Steel. EMAC, UPVC Roof Corporation.
All right, let's go over to Cambodia. The country has ordered all agriculture departments to take immediate measures to ensure the food security of the country due to the crisis. Crystal Ann Ballesteros reports from Cambodia. Crystal?
Good afternoon, Alma, and to all our online viewers. COVID-19 cases in Cambodia continue to rise in 122. Here continue to rise as well, 77. That is why government called for urgent action on food security. Agriculture Minister Veng Sakon has ordered all agriculture departments to take immediate measures to ensure the food security of country in response to the outbreak of COVID-19. Veng Sakon told the General Directorate of Agriculture to record the stock of paddy and rice in rice mills, communities, and each household to get a clear picture of the food situation and identify the potential areas to grow vegetables. Veng also demanded that the General Directorate of Animal Health and Production make an estimation on the amount of local demand for meat supply in 2020. The purpose is to provide a foundation for raising livestock levels to ensure adequate supplies of meat during the pandemic. It is to involve all relevant stakeholders, including the private sector, to ensure food security. The capital and provincial agriculture departments must also take serious action to prevent the illegal smuggling of animals and meat. In addition, Veng also instructed the Fisheries Administration to estimate the demand and supply of aquatic products to ensure that they fulfill domestic demand. The market price is stable and to make sure there is enough stock for people. Late last month, the Ministry of Agriculture reassured the public that there is no need to panic over potential food shortages. Veng declared that Cambodia has abundant supplies of staples such as rice, meat, vegetables, and fish to meet national demand. In conclusion, Veng said that in terms of food security in Cambodia, there should be no concern. They have enough rice and stock. Pig farming can produce up to 80% of meat supplies, and both the fishing industry and vegetable production industry are supplying stock normally. So all in all, the agriculture sector is working well. Happening now, Senate is to discuss emergency law today. The Senate Permanent Committee will meet today to discuss the implementation of the law on the management of the nation in emergencies after the National Assembly unanimously approved the draft law on Friday. All 115 of 125 lawmakers who attended the National Assembly's plenary session on Friday unanimously voted to approve the state of emergency draft law. The law, which comes amid the increasing cases of coronavirus infections in Cambodia, consists of 5 chapters and 12 articles and is based on Article 22 of the Constitution. Senate spokesman Man Bunyang said yesterday the Senate received the draft law on the state of emergency on Friday afternoon after it was adopted by the National Assembly. He said Senate President Tsai Chung will lead a permanent committee today to discuss the law before handing the draft over to the Commission on Legislation and Justice for further review. Mr. Bunyang said the permanent committee will hold a meeting on Thursday to review the report made by the Commission before sending the draft for debate during its plenary session on Friday. The kingdom is not alone in establishing a law to declare a state of emergency. In the context of the global COVID-19 pandemic, many countries have used an emergency law as well as introduced necessary measures such as placing some territories in a state of emergency to protect the people and maintain public health. Meanwhile, International Committee of the Red Cross, or ICRC, races to prevent virus transmission increases. The International Committee of the Red Cross in Phnom Penh on Friday donated 20 tons of healthcare, hygiene, and sanitation supplies to the Directorate General Prison at the Correctional Center. The humanitarian aid aims to assist the General Department of Prisons in preventing and containing the spread of COVID-19 pandemic in detention facilities. The handover ceremony was attended by DGP Director General Chan Kim Seng and DGP officials. During the event, ICRC Cambodia Director Roma Paramorovov expressed concerns about the prevention of virus transmission in overcrowded correctional facilities, citing a lack of proper sanitation in the area. He said that the main priority at this time is to support the efforts of the General Department of Prisons in protecting the 38,000 prisoners and 4,000 prison officials from the coronavirus. Through their partnership with the General Department of Prisons, they were able to provide technical support as well as response risk assessment, which is essential especially in the fight against COVID-19. A $230,000 package was also prepared by the ICRC for the provision of necessary protective equipment to prisons and technical training to prison authorities. On top of that, the National Red Cross has extended efforts in raising awareness about health and hygiene to all provinces grappling with the pandemic. Before the ceremony ended, Mr. Paramorovov appealed to other humanitarian organizations and institutions to join the ICRC in providing assistance to those who are vulnerable in this time of need. Alma?
Yes, you mentioned the prisons, no? The rights groups Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch released statements alerting to prisons being a potential detonator for the virus to spread. How is the Cambodian government addressing this?
Yes, Alma. Cambodian prisons are notoriously overcrowded, unhygienic, practice and health facilities, and are rife with corruption. But according to Amnesty International, government data show that Cambodian prisons held 38,000 people despite having the capacity for only around 26,500 inmates. This overcrowding was exacerbated by the government's war on drugs campaign that started in 2017 that saw prison populations explode exponentially. Roman Paramonov, the ICRC's head of mission in Cambodia, said it would be a luxury if inmates would have the privilege of washing their hands routinely and could practice social distancing. So the director of a Cambodian human rights organization said that government should prioritize bail and trial hearings of people charged with non-violent offenses to slow down the spread of the coronavirus, especially pregnant women or women imprisoned with infants and young children, as well as juvenile detainees, elderly, and detainees with mental or physical disabilities.
All right, thank you very much, Crystal, for that update. Stay home, stay safe, always. Thank you for your time.
Likewise, Alma, reporting from Cambodia for COVID-19 Live News and Updates. I am Crystal Anbaliceres, and we live in interesting times.
Over in Malaysia, thousands of Rohingya refugees in the city may be left to starve as the NGOs there, which had been helping them during the Movement Control Order, or MCO, that our correspondent was talking about, run out of food. That and more from our EBC correspondent in Malaysia, Ruby Tinawin. Ruby?
Yes, hi Alma. Good afternoon to all the viewers. For today, yes, you're right. Thousands of Rohingya refugees, those are the people from Myanmar, in the city may be left to starve as the NGOs which had been helping them during the movement control order ran out of food. A report highlighted the struggle of these refugees as they don't have enough food or any supplies, and they are struggling to survive. They have yet to receive any aid from the government, and NGOs have run out of supplies to give them too. Many of these Rohingya were hesitant to get themselves screened for COVID-19 at government facilities despite Putrajaya's assurance that their immigration status would not get them to trouble. Reports said they are worried because if they are suspected of being infected, they will be taken for isolation, and they don't have money. They might lose everything. An NGO representative said many refugees told him they were still charged with registration fees for screening, which could range between 20 ringgit and 40 ringgit for UNHCR card holders, and double that amount for those without documents. Also, Singapore Ministry of Health on Sunday reported 233 new cases of COVID-19, 10 of them Malaysians. So these Malaysians, those infected with COVID-19, here is the breakdown. 5 of them were linked to case 2215, a patient who is a Singapore permanent resident. 1 linked to case 2424, a Bangladesh national. 3 of them are linked to, say, unspecified local unlinked cases. I mean, they're still tracing where did they get the infection. While the latest one is a Malaysian man, age 25. He was linked to a McDonald's restaurant that is a new cluster for Singapore. Now, Singapore, as of Sunday noon, has identified 28,140 contacts who have been quarantined. In fact, earlier on, Singapore won international renown for establishing best practice pandemic control. But now the number of COVID-19 cases has begun to rise. The first wave of cases appears to have been mostly among travelers, but the virus is beginning to break through social distancing, contact tracing, and medical defenses. Now, the government's nod for businesses like full-service laundry shop and hairdressers to operate during the movement control order is only for green zones under the Health Ministry's designation. It is not for the whole of Malaysia. This is what was clarified by Datuk Seri Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jafar, who is Malaysia's Entrepreneur Development and Cooperative Minister. He said the list of additional services that would have operating restriction lifted was drawn up by a special cabinet committee that was formed on the instruction of the Prime Minister during a cabinet meeting 2 weeks ago. In the Health Ministry's daily maps of the nationwide distribution of COVID-19 case recorded by district, there are 29 districts that are green zones, or districts where no COVID-19 cases being reported as of April 11. So he further explained that the Special Cabinet Committee was concerned about the effects of prolonged MCO on the country's economy, noting that there were business communities from all sectors that were adamant about their business sustainability, and that there were also international firms that has invested billions in the country. With the extension of MCO until April 28, the Ministry of International Trade and Industry also announced additional sectors that will be allowed to operate during the MCO period, on top of the essential services previously already allowed to operate. The additional sectors include automotive industry, machinery and equipment, aerospace, construction, hardware, electrical and electronic stores, optometrists in the wholesale and retail industry, science, professional and technical services, including R&D, social health care, hairdressers, full-service laundry shops. So Wan Junaidi said the government will introduce standard operating procedures and protocols for these businesses with strict supervision by the police and army, with no breaches of such SOPs or protocols to be allowed. And also, for now, seeking answers. Malaysians are seeking answers, and I believe this is worldwide, why more men die of COVID-19. There is a question. Is COVID-19 a sexist disease? It appears that it may well be, as more than men than women are being reported as victims of the virus. Data released by the Health Ministry in Malaysia shows that 58 out of 76 Malaysians who have died of COVID-19 are men. That means 76% of the total. And the result seems to form a similar proportion observed around the world. The Malaysian percentage is higher than those reported in Italy, which is 68%, China 64%, Germany and Spain 63%, Australia and Sweden 60%, and this was according to Global Health Research Group. Malaysian Medical Association President Dr. Gana Baskaran told in one of his interviews that it's still not unclear why so many men died as compared to women. However, one theory is that men are more likely to partake in unhealthy habits, which are associated with developing chronic diseases. Among these lifestyle choices are alcohol and tobacco consumption. So smokers are therefore considered at risk of developing complications such as respiratory difficulties and pneumonia if they catch coronavirus, because their respiratory health is likely to be poor. It may even be that smokers are also more likely to catch a virus in the first place itself because of the action of putting their hands into their mouth, using unwashed hands to roll cigarettes, or even sharing cigarettes. Last month, a study published in Lancet British Medical Journal said emerging evidence suggested that the reason for more male death lay-in is based on sex-based immunological or gender differences. Again, they highlighted lifestyle habits and prevalence of smoking. Now, Malaysia, way back 2015, when they conducted Malaysian BDT survey, showed that Malaysian men were particularly vulnerable to diseases due to a combination of unhealthy diets, physical inactivity, tobacco use, and harmful alcohol consumption. So, according to World Health Organization, around 110,000 people have died of COVID-19, which has spread to 213 countries and infected more than 1.8 people worldwide. Alma?
For men, that's why it seems that it might be men's vulnerability that makes a difference because of their lifestyle. Is that
Yes,
what they're
that's
saying?
right, Alma.
Okay. So it is the same case as being presented all over the world in some parts of the countries. Okay. Thank you so much for that update. And you be sure to stay strong and stay healthy. Thank you so much, Ruby.
Yes. Reporting live from Malaysia, this is Ruby Tinawin. We live in interesting times.
Okay, let's get the latest situation in Japan. Joining us live is Dennis Liu. Dennis.
Hello, Alma. Good afternoon,
Good
to you
afternoon.
and to all our televiewers. Yeah, just to give you an update of what's happening here in Japan. To reduce the chance of contact with humans this pandemic season of coronavirus, Minister Nishimura of the Economic Rehabilitation Division decided at the House of Representatives, House of Accounts Monitoring and Supervisory Committee that the request for leave of absence should reduce to a minimum. He stated that he would support the prefectural governor to take appropriate measures. A member of the Constitutional Democratic Party and other parties, Kenji Eda, said that while reducing opportunities for contact with people, he said they tried to reduce it by 70 to 80%. However, it is not very easy. They also think that the more strict measures and the using of force for businesses going online could only cause a failure. Because of such, the Minister of Economic Revitalization, Nishimura, who is in charge of the special measures law, said the law entails restrictions on private rights and the measures to be taken must be kept to a minimum. They can't tolerate doing so extensive over the net. He also said that he would like to support the prefectural governor in taking appropriate measures to contain infectious diseases, judging by listening to the opinions of experts while looking at the data. In addition, Minister of Health, Labor and Welfare, Mr. Kato, said the Abigan, which is expected as a therapeutic drug, has already begun clinical trials, but decided to measure the effect in its well-balanced manner, not only in the severely ill, but also in the mildly ill. In other news, more cooperation is needed to finish the emergency in 1 month. In a conference, Secretary General Suga called for further cooperation in reducing the chance of contact with people and expressed the intention to support business operators working at home. In this report, Secretary General Khan mentioned with the current number of infected people that's increasing, it is not possible to take any effective measures. In addition, the number of commuters is still not sufficiently reduced in relation to the reduction target. So office work can be done at home. As a rule, at least 70% of attendees should be reduced even when work is absolutely necessary. A request that this be done through relevant ministries and agencies, including support for the introduction of telework. As of now, there are 6,748 cases, 98 deaths, 939 for confirmation, and 789 recoveries. Alma?
Other than coronavirus, Dennis, I think Japan is now experiencing some weather system over there.
That's correct, Alma. A low pressure system had and unstable atmospheric conditions are bringing strong winds and rain to many parts of western and eastern Japan. The rain intensified in Mie Prefecture, central Japan, on Monday morning. The city of Owase had 106 millimeters of rainfall in the hour through 2:46 a.m. Total rainfall in the 24-hour period through Monday morning in Owase was 305.5 millimeters, more than the monthly average for April. Very strong winds are also expected, mainly along coastal areas in West Monday and Monday. Maximum wind speeds through may reach 90 kilometers per hour in the regions of Tokai, Chugoku, Shikoku, and Kyushu, and nearly 83 kilometers per hour in Tohoku and Hokuriku. Gusts of 108 to 126 kilometers per hour and waves of more than 6 meters are also likely. Weather officials are urging caution for strong winds, high waves, as well as landslides, flooding, and swollen rivers. They also warn of lightning strikes and gusty winds.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Dennis. Do stay safe and healthy over there in Japan. You're facing two situations, the coronavirus and a stormy weather situation. Thank you so much. Do take care.
Thank you so much, Alma. You're welcome. Reporting from Tokyo, Japan, this is Dennis Liu reporting live for ASEAN in Focus. We live in interesting times.
And that's the latest news in the ASEAN region and other parts of the world. I'm Alma Angeles, and indeed, we live in interesting times.